In this example, we're going to create a stacked dot plot. So let's imagine a situation where we have a 25-point test where we're going to set 3 cut scores: basic, proficient, and advanced. I have a panel of 17 subject matter experts that are giving me recommendations for each of those levels. And I'm going to do multiple rounds of my standard setting study. Between those rounds, I'm going to give them some feedback in terms of how their individual cut scores relate to the group's cut scores. I could do that with means or medians and standard deviations, but I want to do it with a graphic to help folks visualize the distribution of the panel's cut scores. So I have this data table here where I've just, for each of the 3 performance levels, the 3 cut scores we're working with, I've counted up the number of panelists who had each of the different cut score recommendations. So for example, in round 1, 5 panelists recommended a basic cut score of 9. 3 panelists recommended a proficient cut score of 16. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add a few rows here to give us some room to make our graphic. I'll copy up our performance levels so we have those to work with. I'm also going to copy up the cut score levels, which is our range of possible test scores. I'm going to take these rows and make them a little wider to give us some additional room to work. And zoom out so we can see our numbers all at once. Okay. One more thing I'm going to need to do is open up the character map and scroll down and identify a symbol that I can use in my dot plot. I like to use dots in my dot plots. I'll double click on that and copy it. If you didn't see how I did that, I just clicked on the start menu and started typing in character map, and it shows up right away. Click on it and you'll get a big table that you can find all kinds of characters. If you like different symbols in your dot plots, you can pick one you like better. But again, I clicked on the dot and then copy. I can close this window. The trick to making these dot plots is knowing about Excel's REPT function. So I'm going to go to for example, the 9 cut score. So I'll just put equal REPT. So that repeats text a given time. Open parentheses, I'll do quotation marks. I'll do Control V to paste in my dot. Do comma, and say how many times do I want to repeat this dot. Since I'm in the 9 for the basic, I'll go down to 9 basic, and that's 5. I'll just click on this box here and close parentheses. There we go, it gave me 5 dots. The problem is, though, it did it horizontally, and what I'd like to do is have them vertically. So I can select my cell again, come up to the alignment box up here, click on the arrow next to the text direction, and change it to rotate text up. Okay, I know there should be 5, but I'm only seeing 4 here. The reason for that is my dots are too big and it's going outside of the area that I want. So I can just decrease that font size, and so there I have my dots. Okay, so from there, all I need to do is copy that cell, select my whole range, go to paste, and paste in that same formula. Again, I haven't changed the formatting of my other cells, so I need to rotate that text up, and I need to reduce the font size. Looks like 12. Let's drop it down a little farther. Let's drop it down to 10. There we go. So now we have our dot plots. We can make this graph a little fancier if we add a little shading. I'm going to assume I'll print this in black and white, so I'll click on the advanced row, make that a kind of a darker gray. Change this to a medium gray, and we'll leave this at white. Okay. I don't really like the boxes, the borders that I have here, so I'm going to select my chart area, remove all the borders, maybe except to add a bottom border, one at the top, and then also to make it a little easier for our readers, I'll copy the test scale and paste that up at the top as well. Zoom back in so we can see our graph. So I lost my underline here. So I'll paste that back in there. And there we go. To make it look a little prettier, I'll go to View and I'll turn off those grid lines. So there we have our stacked dot plot. So we can clearly help us cut squared across